This is for Unit 113, Task 3, assessment about using planes or end planes. This assessment is not too difficult, although you got to be a bit careful to make sure that your rebates and your chamfers are nice and clean. Now the tools that you will need for on this occasion, I'll just put the microphone back on, just 1 sec. Here we go. Very simple. You've got the block plane, the small block plane, the smoothing plane, and the jack plane. If you want to use a jack or smoothing, it doesn't matter as long as you feel comfortable using one of them. Then you've got the rebate plane just here to make the rebate. You will need a square or a combination square, a ruler, a marking gauge to mark your chamfer, and a 2H pencil. So back on here we go. So the piece of wood that I will give you will be 70 by 45 in width and thickness. The length doesn't really matter, but it will be about 350 in length. Your task will be to start with the piece of wood that I'm going to give you will be sawn only, so not plain but sawn on 4 sides. So you've got to start using the smoothing or jack plane to make your piece of wood planed on 4 sides. So you always start with one side, this one or the one underneath, it doesn't matter. Plane it square or straight. Make sure that you put the flatness of your tool then to make sure that it is all nice and straight like this, and then you mark your face edge. Next you will be side number 2, so the one behind, to make your face edge and side. So you do that one first, number 2, the one next to it. You make sure that it is square all the way. Then using your marking gauge, you will set it up against the wood to 70 to 68, because I'm going to allow you 2 millimeters. So 68, you mark it with your marking gauge on both sides, and then you put your piece of wood in a vise, and then using your plane again, you just plane it up to 68 mil. Finally, you do your 4th side, this one, and you will mark it to 43 mil in thickness, because remember, I'm going to give you a piece of wood which is 45, so you're going to 2 mil to take off. And again, using the marking gauge to 43, you do the marking here, the marking the other side, turn that piece over on the vise, and then using your plane, you can take it off, so that the finished piece is 68 by 43, finished, all square and plain. What we call that PAR, plain all round, PAR. Once you've done that, you've got 2 more tasks to do. You need to use a rebate plane to do this rebate, and you need to use the block plane to make that chamfer. Set your rebate plane. So this is the rebate plane, this one. So you can see you can set it up from here to there to 15 mil, as you can see, and then set the depth, which is this one, that one, from here to here, to 8 mil. Once you've done that, you set it up nicely. All you have to do is to start your rebate nice and slow, making sure that you keep looking at it every time you pass your plane, because sometimes it can move a little bit in and out, and you want to stay very square all the time. So do that until your plane touches that side here, and you can't go any lower. Once your rebate is done, that's great. You can look at your chamfer. So using again the marking gauge, you set it up to 8 mil here, and you mark your wood 8 mil on both sides, 8 mil. So you'll have 2 lines here and there, and with your block plane you can then clean it off from the vise without breaking up the edges. I will show you during training to make sure that you don't break the edges. And finally, check your criteria. So you can see that the timber plane, when you start to plane your sawn timber, must be straight within half a mil across the 4 faces. It not only must be straight, it must be flat, square and parallel with the sizes that I told you a minute ago, 68 by 43. Remember, the wood I'm going to give you will be 70 by 45, apologies. And you must not be on the size. As you can see, you've got tolerances here, but not on the size. If it's on the size, it will not pass. The rebate is the same, not oversized, so the rebate measurement, which is 15 by 8, do not make them bigger than that. And the end grain must be within 1 mil of the 8 mil, so you've got a bit more tolerance on that one. Finally, you make sure that you keep your area tidy, put all your tools away, and come and see me to be assessed. Here we go.